Hello, Reds fans. Welcome to the YNWA Transfer News Channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for your daily latest news.
Liverpool and Alexander Isak agreement is 100% done as his representatives back a Newcastle exit. Liverpool have reportedly reached an agreement with Alexander Isak. Liverpool and Alexander Isak are once again commanding the headlines as the end-to-end transfer saga continues. The Reds recently shook things up when they vocalized they're willing to spend £120 million on signing the Swede in an informal approach to Newcastle United. The Premier League champions have since followed up with their first official bid, which was swiftly rejected by the Magpies. Newcastle are determined to keep hold of Isak beyond this summer, but the feeling appears to be far from mutual from Isak's point of view. The 25-year-old has been training away from the rest of his team, and a new update has suggested it's now only an agreement with the Magpies that's standing in the way of a Liverpool transfer. Liverpool and Isak agreement 100% done. According to Florian Plettenberg, Isak has made it clear he only wants to join Liverpool and has even turned down a recent inquiry from Manchester United. The Sky reporter claims an agreement between Isak and Liverpool until 2031 is 100% done. The striker's representatives also remain optimistic that an agreement can be reached with Newcastle this year, despite them shutting down a £120 million offer from the Reds. Plettenberg's full update on X reads, "Understand Alexander Isak has once again made it clear that he only wants to join Liverpool FC. Even Manchester United made an inquiry in recent days, but Isak turned it down. He only wants LFC. The players' camp remain optimistic that an agreement can be reached this transfer window, after a £120 million bid was rejected by NUFC. Isak's agreement with LFC until 2031 is 100% done." Contrasting reports over Alexander Isak. Isak has been training alone with former club Real Sociedad while Eddie Howe's side are in South Korea for their preseason tour. David Ornstein of The Athletic has also reported that Newcastle have tried to tie Isak down with a new and improved contract at St. James Park, which would have included a release clause for next summer. However, Isak has not changed his stance on what he wants for his future. Both he and his representatives have made this clear to Newcastle for some time. Contrastingly, The Telegraph's Matt Law has reported that the Magpies are adamant they will not be bullied into selling Isak, and Liverpool have decided they will not follow up with a second bid for the 25-year-old. Multiple reports related to Liverpool and Isak have been doing the rounds lately. The Premier League champions remain linked with Newcastle's star man, but it remains to be seen if a deal will materialize this window. The latest update from Plettenberg claims Isak wants to move to Anfield, but Newcastle have stood firm on keeping him at the club. After returning 23 Premier League goals last season, the centre-forward finished only behind Golden. Liverpool's transfer roundup as bid arrives for £64 million player and 3 defenders targeted. Liverpool are moving towards the business end of the transfer window with plenty of work still left to do. The Reds have made 4 major signings so far, securing a number of high-profile sales along the way. However, Liverpool are certainly not finished yet. Alexander Isak remains the Reds' top target, while there is a need to bring players in at centre-back, too. And while Saturday brought new updates on Isak's situation, who Liverpool would like as their new central defender also became a little more clear. Here's all the rumors from the weekend rumor mill. Liverpool narrowed down centre-back search. Although Liverpool's pursuit of Isak is the headline news right now, Arne Slot arguably has an even greater need for a new defender. And according to the Daily Mail, Liverpool are keeping tabs on 3 developing young centre-backs. They claim that Red scouts have watched and been impressed by Konstantinos Kouliarakis of Wolfsburg, Club Brugge's Joel Ordóñez, and Parma defender Giovanni Leoni. An update is also issued on Liverpool's interest in Mark Guéhi, as it is claimed that the Reds still hope Crystal Palace may reduce their asking price later in the window. Benjamin Sesko bid offers Alexander Isak hope. After Liverpool had a bid rejected for Isak on Friday, there was some confusion as to whether the Reds would be coming back with a second offer. Much of that seems to rest on whether Newcastle are able to secure a top-level replacement for the Swede, and that appeared to take a step forward on Saturday, with news arriving from Slovenian outlet Delo that Newcastle are leading the race for Sesko. Later in the day, the Magpies made an official offer for the 22-year-old. According to Sky Sports reporter Keith Downey, this could pave the way to Isak leaving. Obviously, if Sesko comes in, that will allow Isak to go, and then of course Liverpool will come back with an increased bid, Downey told his YouTube channel. Saudi bid arrives for Darwin Núñez. As well as the excitement of potential additions, there is also the possibility that Liverpool push a few players out of the door before September the 1st as well. One of the most likely candidates to leave is Darwin Núñez, who has been expected to go throughout this summer's window. Although fans may have been getting worried over the lack of movement, news arrived on Saturday that Al Hilal have made an offer for Núñez. Liverpool are reportedly in discussions over a fee which would see their £64 million signing depart. Elsewhere, Tyler Morton stands on the verge of £15 million move to Lyon, while there have been reports that Aberdeen could make a permanent offer for Lucas Stevenson. Alexander Isak to Liverpool on as first domino falls. Brentford have softened their not-for-sale stance on Newcastle target Jon Wissa in a move that could have huge implications for Liverpool's pursuit of Alexander Isak. The Congo DR international has been training on his own at Brentford's training ground in recent days as he has had his head turned by Newcastle's interest in him. The Magpies have had a bid rejected by the Bees, with the London club insisting that Wissa is not for sale this summer. This was an understandable stance considering that Brentford have already lost star attacker Brian Mbeumo and head coach Thomas Frank this window. However, this decision didn't go down well with the 28-year-old as he feels that a move to Newcastle is a career-defining opportunity. Given his age, Wissa is concerned that this is his last shot at Champions League football. He also argued that Brentford reneged on a pact to let him leave. According to Ben Jacobs, Brentford have now backed down and are willing to let Wissa leave on the condition that they find a suitable replacement. He adds that the player and the club are now cooperating in securing a transfer. Wissa domino falls Isak next? This news will be music to the ears of Newcastle boss Eddie Howe, but it will also embolden Liverpool. The Magpies are expected to bid again for Wissa and will now surely be the favourites to sign him. This will likely have the knock-on effect of Newcastle being more open to discussing the potential exit of Alexander Isak. The St James Park club rejected Liverpool's opening offer for the Swede out of hand due to a lack of replacement. With Wissa now in the pipeline, Newcastle could soften their stance on Isak. Liverpool will only bid again for the 25-year-old if given encouragement that a deal is possible. Meanwhile, Newcastle remain firmly in the race to sign Benjamin Sesko, but it is unclear how the Wissa situation influences this saga. However, it seems unlikely that it will change much as Newcastle not only need a replacement for Isak but also one for Callum Wilson. Given the cost of Isak, Newcastle should have the funds available to sign both Sesko and Wissa this summer, although it needs to be borne in mind that Man United are also still vying for the former's signature. Liverpool's Eyes vs Athletic Club, predicted lineups, confirmed team news, injury latest for two friendlies. Liverpool could be without Alisson for Monday's friendly doubleheader against Athletic Club. The goalkeeper was absent from Liverpool's win over Yokohama Marinos due to private reasons, and has returned to Brazil, so his involvement on Monday is not expected. With the squad back in England, Federico Chiesa could be back in contention after missing the Tour of Asia with a muscular issue. Gomez remains sidelined with an Achilles injury suffered in training last month. Head coach Arne Slot will be tempted to field a stronger lineup in one of the games, with Monday's two games the squad's last before facing Crystal Palace in the Community Shield at Wembley. Connor Bradley appears to have the starting berth at right back his own for now, and he started alongside Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate and Milos Kerkez against Yokohama FM for what Slot could consider his first-choice back four. Elsewhere, summer signings Hugo Ekitike and Florian Wirtz should also get the nod, with Mohamed Salah on the right. There is a question to be made in midfield as Alexis Mac Allister returned against the Japanese side after a small fitness concern. The likes of Curtis Jones, Wataru Endo, Andrew Robertson and preseason starlets Rio Ngumaha and Trey Nyoni will also be looking for more minutes. Darwin Núñez, Harvey Elliott and Tyler Morton face uncertain futures. First, Liverpool predicted 11: Woodman, Frimpong, Endo, Tsimikas, Robertson, Jones, Gravenberch, Ngumaha, Elliott, Núñez, Ngumaha. Second, Liverpool predicted 11: Mamardashvili, Bradley, Van Dijk, Connate, Kirkes, Soboslai, McAllister, Sulla, Wirtz, Gakpo, Ekatike. Diogo Jota eternal tribute announced by Liverpool FC forward's boyhood team. Diogo Jota's boyhood team has shared an eternal tribute to the late Liverpool FC forward. The Portuguese star tragically died aged 28 last month when he was killed in a car accident alongside his brother, Andre Silva, who was aged 25. The world of football has united in the wake of the tragedy to mourn the brothers and pay tribute to their legacy. Jota and Silva hailed from Gondomar, a small city 7 kilometers east of Porto, and their boyhood team shared a moving tribute to the brothers who meant so much to their community. The fourth-tier Portuguese side has dedicated their kit for the 2025-26 season to the brothers as the shirt is emblazoned with their faces. The back of the shirt features the two brothers' names underneath an infinity symbol. A translation of the announcement said, "More than a jersey, a tribute eternal." This season, Gondomar Sport Club enters the field with a heart full of memories and feelings. Our new jersey brings in great the image of Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva, two sons of Gondomar who left us too soon, but who will live forever in the history of our club and our football. Every time our athletes put on this jersey, it's like stepping on the field with them. Because football is more than victories and goals, it's legacy, it's family, it's love for our land. The YNWA visited Gondomar last month and heard firsthand just why the two brothers were so adored by their community. The academy at Gondomar Sport Club was renamed in honor of Jota in 2022 as the forward played for the team until he was 17 years old before he joined Pacos de Ferreira. To commemorate his time at the club, a mural was created featuring an image of Jota as a child in the Gondomar kit, and then later in his career when he represented the Portugal national side. A quote on the center of the mural reads, "Now é importante de onde vimos mas sim para onde vamos." A translation of this reads, "It's not important where we come from but where we're going." Members of the community told the YNWA about the meaning behind the quote, as Jota's journey to become a Premier League star was one of the reasons he symbolized so much to the people of Gondomar. Most stars who end up representing the Portugal national side are snatched up during their early years by the big clubs such as Benfica, Sporting Lisbon and Porto. However, Jota stayed with his local team in Gondomar until he was 17 years old and only enjoyed a year-long loan spell at Porto, before he made the move to England. A Gondomar native named Goncalo Ferreira said this unique journey is why he is such an inspirational figure to the people in the small city located 7 kilometers east of Porto. He said, "It's not usual in football. When kids are 12-13s, they go to the biggest clubs like Porto, Sporting and Benfica. He didn't go that way. He marked his career in football in a special way because he didn't follow everyone. He was a kid like us. He went to our school. He played in our fields and he won in life." Jota's legacy rising from his humble roots to become a Premier League star is something the community will always treasure. Locals also value how he continued to represent his community throughout his journey to the top, as Celia Almeida said. "He was always the boy from Gondomar." The Echo spoke to Jota and Silva's childhood friend, Cosme Oliveira, who explained how what they symbolized will continue to inspire the next generation, as Jota's quote on the walls on the Estadio de São Miguel will always remain true. The 30-year-old said, "They never lost their roots here. They never forgot this little town and what we represent. The good memories that we have with them here will always live." Thank you for watching. Like and comment. Subscribe.